This tutorial will demonstrate the use of CIS to make an application for registration as an approved center. It covers the process for applying for the registration of a new center or the re-registration of an existing center. When a registered proprietor logs on to CIS, they can view the center registrations for all of their facilities. Other staff of the facility can be granted access to view or update the registration. However, only the registered proprietor will be able to submit the registration to the Mental Health Commission. The application for registration can be saved, added to and amended multiple times before it is submitted. The Commission has no access to the information on the application until the registered proprietor has clicked on the Submit button. Many of the screens with CIS are displayed as grids. This screen will remind you of the standard navigation within CIS. If you need further detail on navigating within CIS, you can refer to our separate tutorial on general navigation. The registered proprietor will receive an email when an application for registration is ready to be completed. The registered proprietor can access the application either from the registrations menu or from their tasks on their home screen. Clicking on registrations on the home page menus opens a new screen. From there, click on Proprietor Center Registration to open the main registration screen. The grid shows a list of all of your registrations on CIS. Remember, you can sort on any of the grid headings, so, for example, here you may wish to sort by application date to show the most recent first, or perhaps by status to show those that are open. Alternatively, you may wish to search, for example, type a portion of the name of the approved center into the search box under center name and press enter to find the approved center you wish to register. To update an application for registration, you must click on the down arrow to the right of the button under the action column and then click on Edit. Remember, the application can be started on CIS, saved, and then finished at a later time. Also, CIS allows different parts of the application to be completed by multiple people. CIS is dynamic. Some screens and some fields only need to be completed in certain circumstances. For example, information on compliance with regulations is not needed for re-registration, so will only be requested for new registrations. CIS will also validate the information being entered, for example, to check that all mandatory fields have been filled in. The overview section is an explanation of the registration form. This overview text can be hidden by clicking on the arrow beside the word overview and collapsing the section. The application for registration section at the bottom of the screen shows the status as a dashboard view. This screen allows the individual parts of the application form to be completed. The screen displays a green tick if a section has been completed or is not applicable, and a red X if the section has not been completed or has errors. Section 1, General Information, must always be completed before any other section. To open a section for editing, click on the down arrow to the right of the button under the action column and then click on Edit. Section 1, General Information, must be completed first before any of the other sections of the application can be filled in. All of the other sections of the application can be completed in any order. Fill in the details for your center. As an example, we will look more closely at the highlighted portion of this screen. Click inside the circle to select yes or to select no. If you choose yes as the answer to the question, "Are any other healthcare services provided at the facility?" then the text box underneath will change to white and you can now give the details here. As with all screens in CIS, the mandatory text fields have a colored background, other text fields have a white background. Complete all the information and click on Check for Errors. This validates the information on the current screen. CIS checks that all mandatory sections have been completed. You can then click on Next to save all your information and move on to the next screen, or click on Save and Close to return to the dashboard. This section will only be completed where the center is managed by the HSE. You may click on the question mark icon that is displayed beside certain fields to see additional information about what needs to be recorded in that field. Remember, each section does not have to be completed fully before saving. You can return to each section later to add additional information or change the information already inputted. CIS only allows Section 3 to be completed if the registered owner is not the HSE. Complete all the information and click on Check for Errors. You can then click on Next to save all your information and move on to the next screen, or click on Save and Close to return to the dashboard. Different fields on each screen will become mandatory, depending on your answers to certain questions. For example, if you tick that you provide a child and adolescent mental health care service, then it becomes mandatory to fill in the age range fields. Use the new ward/unit button to record information about each of the wards or units in your center. You must enter this information even if the facility has only one ward. CIS will check that you add the same number of wards here to match the number entered in Section 4.1 at the top of this screen. CIS will also check that the services offered in the ward are included in the services listed in 4.1 as being offered by the overall premises. Complete all the information and click on Check for Errors. Click on Next to save all your information and move on to the next screen, or click on Save and Close. Record the details of the staff who work in and for the facility. This is quite a long screen, so you will need to scroll down to continue to fill in the requested information. Some of the mandatory fields are at the end of the screen. For each mental health team or specialty team who are admitting patients to the facility, the team name must be added using the Add Team or Specialty button. Please note, in questions 5.6, 5.7 or 5.8 on additional staff, if the answer is yes, you must then add the additional categories of these staff. This section is only completed for new registrations. Please note that you will need to use the page navigation control at the bottom of the screen to access all of the pages. For each regulation, click on Edit, and record how you will comply with the regulation and how you will monitor this. Remember, the information can be entered over multiple sessions and you can enter it in any order. CIS lists the supporting documents required. The list of documents is based on the answers that have been given throughout the application. To upload a document to CIS, as before, you must click on the down arrow to the right of the button under the Action column and then click on Edit. Please note, it is only possible to submit one file per row. If you need to submit multiple items, they will need to be put into a folder and the folder should be zipped. This zip file can then be uploaded. If you need assistance with this process, please send us an email. The Other Relevant Documentation section can be used to upload any other relevant documentation for the application for registration. The next part of this tutorial will explain how to upload your files. Click on Upload. Then click on Choose File to locate the file to be uploaded to CIS. Click on Choose File and then click on Save. A description should be added to make it easy to identify the contents of the document. Click on Save to continue. The final step in the process has 3 parts. These are additional information, declaration and signature. We will now look at each of these parts. The registered proprietor or registered proprietor nominee can add an additional information that may be relevant for their application for registration as an approved center. This is added in the free text box shown on the screen. This is the registered proprietor or registered proprietor's nominee declaration that the information provided is true and accurate before they sign the application. All of the tick boxes on this screen are mandatory. The registered proprietor or registered proprietor's nominee clicks on the Sign Form button to sign the application for registration. An additional prompt appears. The registered proprietor clicks on Accept to confirm that they wish to digitally sign the application for registration. While the application is being completed, the task remains on the registered proprietor's home screen as a reminder that the application is in progress. We will now step through the process to submit the completed application. All sections of the application for registration can be updated until the Submit button has been clicked. The Commission cannot see any information on the system until the application has been submitted. Only the registered proprietor can access the Submit button. When the registered proprietor clicks on Submit, they will receive an email confirming the submission. The Mental Health Commission will review the application for registration as an approved center. The banner on the status screen informs the users that the application for registration has been submitted. The Edit option and the Submit option are no longer available to users in the facility. The application for registration is now available to Mental Health Commission for review. Each section of the application will have a status reflecting its progress. Once the review is complete, the Commission will notify the registered proprietor directly of the outcome of the review. If you need further assistance with using CIS, check out our other tutorials or email the address shown on the screen.